Hello, folks. It's Monday, April 3rd. I'm up at my usual time today, 9. Cheers. So, life is interesting. And grief, again, disclaimer, this is going to be more Dear Diary than, just recasto, okay? we get, and this congestion, I've really been keeping my distance from a lot of people because COVID just won't go away. I don't think I have it, but, that congestion that comes and goes. Ugh. Anyway, so Ryuichi Sakamoto's passing is a big chapter in my life. In a way, coming to a close, even though the music is there. Yeah, let me just, again, like I said, if you're looking for, I'm going to ramble, because I need to unload. It's hard to explain easily why music in general is so important to me, but it is. It's one of the central forces in life that keeps me alive, okay? And there are essences and aspects of sound and music that really draw me in and really touch me in all kinds of ways, emotionally, intellectually. Ryuichi Sakamoto was a musician who was working on that level where he was really trying to deeply express humanity, emotions, feelings, longing. And he, like, I guess for me, I would compare him to some Brazilian composers like, is it Gilberto or Jobim? Jobim. I'm thinking of Marcos Valle, probably too. Probably more that I don't know by name. But their music is so emotional and it just tugs at the heartstrings. They really know. There are certain people who write and make music where that's what it does. A lot of Sakamoto's music has that effect on me and has had that effect on me. Where I feel it deeply, it causes me to not only listen more deeply, but to examine what I'm feeling because of what I'm hearing. Amazing musician. I forget who, but someone sent me this album. A Sync. Sakamoto. It came out in 2017. This is a few years after he was originally diagnosed with the cancer. And this is really, whoa, this was an ordeal to listen to yesterday because it's so, the poignancy of what he put down on this now that he's gone is like, oh my God. There's a parallel to David Bowie's Black Star, where it's in essence he's saying, not really saying goodbye, but really contemplating death and the finality of it and realizing that's what he's facing. This is so deep. And as well as that, it always includes his work with sound. There's side C starts off with a piece that's like, what is going on here, And the next thing you know, he pulls you into it. Truly amazing. Again, this one is really special. I put on one side of this and it was like man, it was just so heavy. It's like Sakamoto really, he played the piano every time like it was going to be his last time. He poured, it's like he poured his entire being into his playing most of the time when he played, particularly piano. That's a big loss. Big loss. It finally hit me in the afternoon at that time of day that I find myself, that I love, mid-afternoon, between 3 and 5, about this time of year, the sunlight, it just brings up so many, mostly wonderful feelings and memories. But with the loss of my brother the last couple of years, that time of day just reminds me of just some of the most wonderful moments in life. And that was when I just broke down yesterday, because I was sitting out in the living room watching some video, watching some Sakamoto as well as Depeche Mode. I'm really enjoying watching all these audience videos of Depeche Mode on tour. Man, they're really they sound great. But as I was sitting there and just absorbing the light and just really feeling some deep thanks for just still being alive, and for my home, and for thankfulness for being able to do exactly what I was doing at that moment, I just burst into tears, and I tried not to, cry, because you know how you go, once you get going, it's like, dang, okay, all right, I'm done, because it's hard on the body. I went ahead and, okay, so now I'm hearing from David Nance, because I really want, just give me a minute though, this is really important here. I want to play. So anyway, yeah, I knew this would happen, because I didn't tour with David Nance, that I would kind of get pushed out of my bass position. He's got a gig coming up on Earth Day here in Omaha. I want to play, and he just let me know that, well, Sam did the tour, so Sam's going to play. I just went back to him and said, well, I can play something else. I want to play. And that's another thought I'm having. It's like, I would love to live another 20, 30 years, but nothing is guaranteed. And so there's not a sense of urgency, but it's like, I better do what I can, or let me just keep going. I'll put it like that. Okay. So I was moved to make some music yesterday, and it was a direct inspiration from Sakamoto. He has a lot of titles I don't have because they're hard to find. One that's on the computer is this thing he did called Lack of Love. So I put that on yesterday, started listening to it, and as I was listening to it, it just hit me. It says, I don't want to listen to this, I want to play this. And so the piece that I uploaded yesterday, it's a free download, is directly inspired by Sakamoto's piece on his album Lack of Love. If you have it, you'll hear it. That is, I got this directly from Sakamoto. It's a free download, people. Several people have paid for it, but it's a gift. I understand. I think that people are buying it out of respect for music and what it means to them, and I do understand that. I do understand that when we pay for things, psychologically it means more. But it is meant as a gift. I really, please, download it for free. Where it says name your price, put in a 0. Just please have that music. I've listened to it several times, and someone online described it well. Everyone's been really saying how much they feel it, but one person described it well. They said This is really interesting, Dereck. It's happy and sad at the same time. How did you do that? I just took the inspiration from the man himself, Mr. Sakamoto. I, also, if you happen to see this, Randy, thank you so much. Randy LeMasters, the fellow who put out The World is Burning CD out of Pittsburgh, is a real friend. When I posted on Facebook that Tears Had Finally Come, he called me shortly after that. And I really appreciate that because I know who my real friends are. A lot of people call me their friend, but I don't call a lot of people. And sometimes when I'm sitting here by myself, I don't get lonely very often, but this is one of those times when you're dealing with loss. I felt lonely. And I, thought about, well, who could I call? Well, I could call a number of people. Who do I want to call? And when Randy called me, the tears just, and then we both cried together, thankfully. Because the people that I've called in the past, I mean, quite literally, for years now, the people that I would call in those moments are dead. My younger brother, I'll put it cold like that because it's the finality of it. My younger brother was someone whose company I just, loved so much. And then my other, almost like a brother, Gary Beck, who passed away from cancer last year. Those are the folks that I would call. I can't call them anymore, And so, or just a second. Let me just take care of this. I can play some damn piano. So anyway, I'm talking to David Nance now, and I see that like I said, I see he's got a gig for Earth Day. Earth Day, it's a freebie, but I'm happy to say that I was the band. We were my world music band, Akita Manio. We were the first band to play Earth Day in Omaha. It seems like there's some significance to Omaha and the beginning of Earth Day being celebrated. We were the first band. We kicked it off, and so I haven't played in years. Um, yeah, folks, I'll come back.